Begin Podfix Network transmission in 3, 2, 1.
What's up, y'all? We are the Yummy and Fearless podcast with the Side Chicks, featuring Yummy and Dark Phoenix. We are the Side Chicks because we give our side of the issues. We are an irreverent and comedic podcast hosted by two seductive and fully grown women that explores pop culture and relationships.
That's right. And if you want a behind the scenes glimpse of what fully grown and seductive women talk about when no one is listening, no holds barred, this is your podcast. I'm talking unfiltered. I'm talking not safe for work. And by the way, not for Karens or prudes.
That's right. So check us out at yummyfearless.com. Welcome to the Yummy and Fearless podcast with the Side Chicks. I'm Yummy.
I don't know who I am today, but I'll give my side.
Wow.
I'll be dark and fiery. How about that?
Shit. Dark and fiery. Maybe you should stick with dark and fiery. I like that.
So Chris Rock.
Yeah.
Will he ever get over it being slapped?
Yeah. Will he ever get over Will Smith rocking his ass at the Oscars?
Well, why should he? Why should he get over it?
Because he a man. Move on. Move on.
Does it serve him to stay in it? I think it does.
To me, he acting like he like a 9-year-old little white girl or something.
Oh my gosh, where did that come from?
Cause he won't do an actual interview about it. You know, if anyone asks him about it, he won't talk about it like a little hurt little girl or something. Yeah,
I don't take it that way, but go ahead.
Yeah, he's on tour and he'll talk about it on tour. But then he says little ridiculous things like someone asked him if he'd go back to the Oscars, and then he says that'd be like Nicole Brown Simpson going back to the murder scene. Nigga.
Oh, that was a bad reference.
How you comparing that to somebody that was damn near decapitated?
I don't like that one.
He doing to that. That's my point. You like being a little bitch about this at this point. And
I don't know. I don't agree with that though.
He keep on dragging it out. Then he won't talk about it. But then when he does talk about it, he's saying dumb shit like comparing it to a double homicide.
Yeah, that was bad.
It ain't no fucking double homicide. You did get smacked, but it is not a double homicide, okay?
But so consider this. It doesn't serve him to talk about it in an interview forum. It serves him for people to come out to his show to see what he's going to say about it. So why would he talk about it in an interview? First of all. Secondly, if you know anything about comedy, you know that they workshop all their jokes. So they see what works and they see what what doesn't. But they will recycle the same jokes over and over again. If it works, they'll tweak it a little bit and they'll tweak it and tweak it. Dave Chappelle, all comedians do it. So if he's workshopping his act, it makes sense that he would keep talking about it while he's on tour. It makes sense that he would keep talking about it on tour because that gets people out to see him. I mean, he's trying to sell tickets at the end of the day. And I think that I don't know that I would get over it. I mean, I don't know that I would get over it. I mean, I think that he has masterfully been able to keep the focus on him and get, pub for his show without really disparaging Will Smith. He's made jokes about Will Smith, saying he's the softest. I got smacked by the softest dude in hip hop, whatever, So he's made jokes, but he hasn't it's not like a beef like we've seen other comedians do. Like a la, what's her name? The one from the big girl, Monique.
Oh, okay.
A la Monique, and making it into a real beef. He's not really beefing with Will Smith. he's making jokes about it, trying to, extend the life of the event so that it serves him, and he at least gets something out of it besides a hurt face.
So, and I understand that, and I got it for like the first 4 months. But when you're approaching a year, I'm like,
it ain't even a year. How long has it been? It hasn't even been.
When are the Oscars? It's been like
February, I think.
9 months.
He still got about 6 months left. I'm saying he's got about.
It's like, take the titty out of your mouth. Take the titty. It just keeps going
What
on
are supposed to
and
do?
on and on. So like when Will Smith put up the apology video,
which was bullshit, but
he said, well, Chris said, fuck your hostage video.
That's what it seemed like, right?
Not to be.
Come
yes,
on.
that shit hurt. This is actually funny, but yes, that shit hurt. He played Ali. I can't even play Floyd Mayweather. So
he's still making jokes. He still got jokes.
It's like, come on. But so
Will
okay,
Smith.
so if it were only that he were dragging this out, and according to others, he was being, hilarious. If he were like, at the top of his game, like late mid 90s Chris Rock, like HBO Chris Rock era Chris Rock funny,
yeah,
that'd be one thing. But according to people, that's not the case. Apparently, he's not that motherfucking funny.
Oh no, I ain't trusting that.
Because you can get away with some shit when the talent is where it's supposed to be.
Who's the source? That's all I'm saying. Who's the source?
Eboni Williams and other people.
Who is she? She ain't no comedy critic. She's just a critic.
She says that she's a lifelong Chris Rock fan, but I've heard whispers of this for quite some time, but people hadn't, because this does happens to comedians where they just sort of lose sort of that intensity they once had. It happens to some of the best of them. It's not unusual. Chris, it does happen.
I don't know who happened. Name somebody, because I don't know that to be true. If you're funny, Martin Lawrence had a freaking breakdown. So, but he's done other things.
But he's not. He went
through a period, right?
Time when Martin Lawrence could do stand up and people would be pissing their pants. And something.
Okay, fair enough.
It does. And it happens to a lot of people.
Doesn't mean they can't get it back, but yeah.
Doesn't mean that they can't, but most of the time they don't. And as far as like that trend happening, Chris Rock, to me, went the longest. He still is one of the greats.
Yeah.
He went the longest without it sort of happening to him. And because I haven't seen his whole show in person myself, I'm going to guess his isn't a complete fall off. But I do think, he's not peak Chris Rock. All right. He's not peak Chris Rock. So, but Eboni K. Williams made headlines because, again, she describes herself as a lifelong Chris Rock fan, before saying that to her, the comedian is done. The television host elaborates on her statement. She explained how Chris Rock's latest material caters to white audiences. This is her
I can't
quote.
believe that. I will have to hear a joke.
I have been a lifelong Chris Rock comedy fan. For me, Chris Rock is done. Chris Rock was so clearly shucking and jiving. He was so clearly curtailing his bits for white claps. It was just full on, unapologetically anti-Black.
What?
This Black ass man was sitting in this auditorium. Basically, what he said was, I'm Black, but I'm not a nigga. I left halfway. I was disappointed. I was hungry. I left there thinking he needs to be slapped one more time.
What? Did she give any examples of his jokes?
She just concluded this by saying she put up a clip of him, I guess, from the performance.
Mm-hmm.
And she said that he is no longer a competent contributing voice for the culture.
I find that so hard to believe. I would have to hear. I'm not saying it's impossible, but Chris Rock is so entrenched in. He's like, as far as like being a political commentator. Chris Rock is up there. I mean, he is up there. He had his own show at one point on HBO. He was like Bill Maher. He was like, yes, but I'm saying his stand-up act has always had, he probably is a little bit even before Chappelle, really. I mean, he was the guy who would call white people out on stuff. He was the guy who said if he was on the elevator and two young white guys got on the elevator, he would dive off.
But Kanye used to call white people out. Now he's a white supremacist.
True. But I haven't heard Chris Rock say anything in a public forum that would lead me to believe he's a white supremacist. So I would have to hear some jokes. I would have to hear an example of some jokes that she's saying that he was catering to a certain demographic. I would have to hear that because I find that extremely hard to believe.
She went so far as to say, at this point, Chris Rock needs to be slapped again. Where's Big when you need it?
I ain't believing that.
She went in hard.
Now I gotta go see what Chris Rock is talking about. I gotta get some clips. I gotta see some clips.
I don't know. I mean, but you gotta like also think about, a person's reality does affect their art.
Sure.
And Chris Rock, so the period that we're talking about when he was raw and uncut.
And he was coming up through the ranks.
His life experiences were more real.
Mm-hmm.
But Chris Rock has been
he's a millionaire
in Hollywood for damn near 35, 40 years at this point.
Mm-hmm.
So more of his experiences are Hollywood at this point, and it is going to impact and reflect his art. It just does.
Mm-hmm.
It just does. So that whole, when he had the Chris Rock show, in the 90s, he's not that one, he's older. He's almost.
But Dave Chappelle, you can say the same of Dave Chappelle, and he is clearly not
that raw. Dave Chappelle isn't even the same Dave Chappelle he was when he had the Dave Chappelle show.
But he certainly isn't kowtowing to white audiences. So it's possible that your experience can make you better, or can make you. It just changes everybody, especially if you start. Chris Rock started when he was like early 20s, if not 20. So of course, even if he hadn't gotten rich, his experiences would change. Yeah. Hopefully you're going to evolve from the time you're 20 something, and you're going to be a lot more raw and than you are when you're in your 50s. I want to hear some examples. I'm not taking her word for it.
Yeah.
Ain't no way she's going to make me believe.
But I've heard rumblings of this for a bit, because one example is before he was slapped, he was having trouble selling tickets to his tour. After he was slapped, it hurt and stuff, like he says, but it really helped his tour.
Yeah. So why stop talking about it?
And I get it, but at the same time, it's like, come on, everybody's playing here. All right. Everybody's gonna get what they want out of this situation.
Yeah.
Okay. So stop acting like, somebody like bent you over and took your manhood, because you're also playing along. Okay. Your ticket started selling. You're dragging this story out.
I don't think anybody doubts that. Who's doubting that that's what he's doing? I mean, to me, it's obvious that he's playing along.
Go ahead. It's not like, you're in therapy and you don't know what to do and you can't stand to look at an Oscar, or your face hurts or something. It's like you're playing along for your own benefit as well.
Of course he is.
So relax.
As he should.
So stop comparing it to a double homicide, Chris.
No, that was a little going a bit far. That was a bridge to
relax. All right.
He should. I think we knew that he was doing. Nobody doubts that he's doing that. when he first declined the first few interviews, we should have known. Like, oh, I see what he's doing here. Okay. He wants people to buy them tickets. And that's fine. I don't see anything wrong with that. But that is something wholly different than saying now he is, his content is catering to a specific demographic, and I'm making him akin to a Kanye West. I gotta hear that. I gotta hear those jokes.
Yeah, let me be clear. I certainly don't compare him to a Kanye West, but I do use the example that you can't necessarily compare someone to who they were
the previous
entry part of their career as to who they are at 35 or whatever. And in the descent, and the distance can be far.
That's true.
It really can be far.
But can we say that sometimes a person's body of work should be enough that they don't ever even have to do stand up again? Like Martin Lawrence, he could stink up the joint. He really could. He could go and stink up the joint. He has done enough for the culture. He's done enough as a comedian. He's done enough for American culture. I mean, you can't throw a rock without somebody saying something that Martin Lawrence coined. If he stinks up the joint, so what? He's done so much.
That's because he hasn't offended the culture in any horrible way. So, like, for example, Kanye has a lot of good music. That's the soundtrack for a lot of different periods in people's lives. But
yeah,
a lot of us do not give a fuck because the things that he's done of late are so fucking ridiculous and so bad.
He's
Don't
different.
nobody give a fuck about his, body of work.
But his body of work is not, I would not say that he's done a lot for the culture with his body of work. I would say that he was a decent rapper and a decent producer, but he didn't do shit for the culture. I'm not giving him that. And I cannot compare. I would have to hear them jokes to compare the likes of Martin Lawrence or Chris Rock to Kanye West. That would be devastating to me. I'll have to hear these jokes. I got to hear these jokes.
People can ruin their
legacy.
Their legacy. I mean, because like you may not like R. Kelly, but his art, that nigga like owned the 90s and the early 2000s. Like his art,
he did.
If somebody's going
Michael
to
Jackson, for that matter.
Yeah, if somebody's going to talk about that period, and he did like crossover writing for people and stuff, it's like impossible not to include R. Kelly. But he's like a prolific pedophile. All right. So he tainted. So you
gonna compare Chris Rock and Martin Lawrence to a pedophile and a white supremacist?
No. I'm just making the point that it is possible to taint. Great art can be tainted. Great art can be tainted.
Yeah, I get point well taken. Because I don't know that R. Kelly could come back and be like, okay, I'm gonna sing some of these old songs now, or I'm gonna sing some new songs. We're gonna be like, get the fuck out of here with that bullshit. Well, shouldn't my old stuff stand? Shouldn't my old stuff be enough? Hell to the no. Get your pedophilic ass.
Yeah, he cannot come out and say my mind's telling me no, but
no way.
It's not gonna work.
Ara. No, Ara. No.
It's not gonna work. But it's funny, Lupita Nyong'o admits, because at the Oscar, when Will Smith came down on Chris, she admits that she knew she was going to be a part of a meme because she was in a shot.
She was looking like, what the, like, is this real?
Right, like what? But to me, I mean, she had a reaction, but her reaction was way more calm than mine would have been, because my mouth would have been wide open, like,
because they probably thought like everybody, well, at least when I saw it, you told me, but I thought that it was I'm like, that was even when I saw it and you told me, I thought that it was an act. I thought it was part of the act. So I'm sure she was like, was that part of the act, or is he? Then he sits down and starts showing his natural black arse, and you're like, oh, that was real.
Yeah.
That was real.
Yeah. So when he was sitting there and she's reacting, and he's like, keep my wife's name out your motherfucking mouth. Like the motherfucking part was clear. I was like, oh, this is a thing. But she like, oh, but like I probably would have just been literally like, somebody would have had to get my mouth off the floor.
Okay.
Like, what the,
Like,
yeah,
what I
she
just
said that
witnessed.
she knew. She's like, oh my God, I'm gonna be in the shot. My reaction is gonna be in the shot. So she knew that, she was gonna be a part. I mean, and she was,
Well,
that was.
let me ask you this. Do you watch the show Atlanta? Have you ever watched
I
it?
haven't watched it in a while.
I've never watched it. And I have my reasons for that. But
Season 1 was great.
so season 1 was great. And I've heard it's gotten Emmys and stuff like that. So the actor that played, so the I guess the creator of it, what's his name? Childish Gambino, also known as Donald Glover.
Yeah.
He's catching a little bit of he's trending right now because he has a kissing scene with a dude.
Okay.
And that, you know who that dude is? Lakeith Stanfield.
Oh, okay.
You know who Lakeith Stanfield is?
Yeah.
That played in Get Out as and he's played in a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
I always knew. But some people are saying, oh, it's just a kiss, it's just a peck. It's not even like they made out or anything. Why? So there's this ongoing debate about Black men in the mainstream. In order to make it, you have to either put on a dress or you have to be emasculated to excel to any level of success. And then you can just think of all the Black men who've had to do it. So some Black men like refuse to do it. I think Denzel Washington is one. But it's been a bunch of them.
Emasculation for a man to kiss a man?
Because it's gay. And I would think that if it's gay, then I guess gay dudes can be masculine.
Gay dudes are masculine though. I mean, like that's just a orientation at best, but like that isn't a reflection of masculinity. I mean, like if I think about like all the heterosexual men who like act like straight bitches, then but I mean like to me, like two men kissing isn't necessarily like not masculine.
Oh, it is to me.
Really?
Oh yeah. Like or at least my perception, what I think of as masculine, which is why I guess it's so hard. It's like it's so hard for me to imagine what you talked about P-Valley, where you have the very masculine men who are like attracted to each other and doing it and all that stuff. It's hard for me to that's what do you call it? It causes cognitive dissonance for me. Because you see a masculine, and that's probably just my own, ignorance and conditioning. Because I was conditioned to think of men, who are masculine as behaving and presenting a certain way versus, presenting like a man and then being attracted to a man. So I don't know. I think that, and maybe a lot of people have been conditioned that way, but. Yeah, some people are like, that just proves, it's like another Black man having to, or choosing to play a role like that to make it in Hollywood.
So like Lakeith has showed up on some red carpets with like wigs and stuff.
Yeah. Did you see his Cats audition?
No.
Please look at that Cats audition. I knew then. I was like, oh, Lakeith, come on.
Well, people have questioned that, but however, Lakeith is currently engaged to a woman.
I don't give a damn.
A Black woman that like graduated from Spelman.
Weird.
That he is. I mean, I don't know like what he classifies himself sexually, I don't know if he's bisexual or whatever, but he is engaged to a woman, But the thing about it is, I don't know, some of it is like, I feel like for Black men, if they don't like participate in like a stereotypical, almost toxic masculinity, then their sexuality is always questioned.
That may be true.
And
However,
the
isn't there an
ironic part,
in-between?
like that thug toxic masculinity shit, like the gang, to me, gangs is
They're
the most
misogynist.
homoerotic
Yeah.
shit in the world.
Yeah, they're very
Ironically,
they're misogynist. But isn't there an in-between? Like, do you have to be either toxically masculine or kissing a dude? Like, is there any in between?
but see, I feel like we don't allow for the in between, and that's sort of my point. It's like we don't allow for the in between. It's like you got to either be strict, follow this, adhere to this line of masculinity, or you're gay. Or you're gay. So in Donald Glover, he has children. I know that he tends to date white women, but he does but he does date women. However, he has said that there have been times when he questioned his sexuality.
Oh, that doesn't surprise me one damn bit.
Yeah.
Ever since I saw his ass with no shirt on in This Is America video, I was like, what the absolute fuck are you doing? Put a goddamn shirt on right now. No, sir.
So bless his heart. But I don't know. I hadn't heard that they kissed, but I don't know what any of these things from he and Lakeith's real life has to do with whatever happened with the art on the set. But the thing about it is, Black men kiss all the fucking time.
Yeah, and they're gay. The ones who kiss can we agree that they're gay when they kiss? If there's a man who's kissing another man, he's not gonna come and say, "But I'm not gay. I'm just gay friendly." What the hell? I mean,
so if a girl kisses another girl, is she gay?
I don't know what she is, but I know that two men kissing is definitely.
I mean, he could be experimenting. He could be trying it.
If you are experimenting, you're gay.
See, I don't think you're tainted. That's like a little dab of,
a little dab of do you?
Yeah, it's like now you're tainted.
Yeah,
I don't think you're necessarily tainted. You could be like experiment. You could be trying it out to see if it's for you. I don't think that's for eternity. And now you have been bestowed.
It's not tainted. It's not. You ain't tainted. I just can't fuck with you. I can't. I'm not attracted to you anymore. You're cousin to me now. You're my cousin. God. You are like my. You might as well be my dad or something, my uncle. I'm not gonna be attracted to my uncle. Sorry. You kiss another dude, we can't never rock.
Really?
I'm sorry. Yes, it's just not attract. It turns me off. It's almost like finding out that somebody, I don't know, when a guy finds out a girl, shit her pants or something. I don't know. Like, damn, I am not attracted to you, or threw up or something, or farted. Even though we all know that all people fart and shit their pants at some point in their life. But if a dude that was attracted to you knows that you shat yourself in public or some shit like that, he'd probably be like,
Well, do you see how like we contribute to people
the
hiding, we allow for no room for anything.
I wish I wasn't this way. It's not clearly, it's just me, because you seem to be fine with somebody exploring. That does not preclude you from being attracted to them. It does not exclude, like, they're not out of the realm. It's not out of the realm of possibility that you could still be attracted to them, date them. For me, it turns me off. It just turns me off. It's like buckets of cold water.
I guess part of it is sort of and this is sort of like the type of thinking that I have, even in terms of when we were talking about TI. It's like we can have a discussion about what should be, or we can have a discussion about what is. So what is, men kiss each other. Some
sure
men,
they do, of course.
Some men kiss each other. More than likely, you fucked with a man that's fucked with a man.
Not knew about it. I ain't know about it. If he did, I
Right.
didn't know about it.
Right.
And I
But-
shit myself and he didn't know about it. How about that?
right. So both of you got one off on each other.
Right. If he knew though, if he knew, he's like, I can't fuck with you.
Men don't care.
You might have a point there.
They don't care.
Like, can we like put a towel over that and just
right
keep it moving?
I can work through it. They can work through it. So I don't know. I'm not even saying that that's something I want. You know what I'm saying? I'm not even saying like, oh, I'm looking for it, but I'm just saying, especially the more common that, you know, these type of experiences are.
It may be common, but just because it's just like, certainly you have some standards, things that you just can't rock with or don't want to rock with. That's not to say that you have never rocked with somebody who didn't meet that standard. It just means that maybe you didn't know, or, you know, that was a different time in your life. But
yeah,
I can't knowingly kiss a man who has kissed a man. I don't want to do that. No,
you don't do that. Okay,
I don't want to.
I've mentioned to you, I watch a lot of shows on the Zeus network. I'm not proud of this. Right? I'm not.
I've been looking for it. I cannot get to it,
girl.
ever since you told me about it.
Listen, so there's a show on there called Bobby, I Love You Purr.
Say that again now.
Bobby, I Love You Purr, as in purr, like a cat.
Oh, Bobby,
yeah.
I Love You Purr.
Yeah, Bobby Light, he used to be on Love and Hip Hop Miami. He's a gay guy. So he's actually the rapper Trina's cousin.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so he has a show, a dating show on the Zeus network called Bobby, I Love You Purr. Okay. And it's all of these. The shit will blow your mind.
What are they doing on there?
What are they not doing?
Is it like a dating show? Like what, like
yes.
The Bachelor or some shit?
Yes. It's the wildest, will blow your fucking mind. Okay, that's one.
See, I don't want my mind blown like that.
Mostly Black and some Latino. They had like one or two white dudes, but like, talk about your mind. If you think Lakeith and Donald Glover kissing is like got you in some, girl, if you watch Bobby, I Love You Purr, and then here's the thing. So it's a complete mind, and that's the thing. I can. But my point is, as women, we can feel however the fuck we want to feel, but the reality is, we need to be educated, okay? Ed, what the fuck is going on out here in these streets? Most of the men I would never have even known fuck with niggas.
Oh my gosh.
You would most of the men on there, you would never.
So there's no way to know. Are you telling me there's no way to know? No signs, no nothing.
There's plenty of them. Unless you catch them where they tell you, no, there's nothing you can like detect. There's nothing you can detect. Some of them, it's obvious. But like a great portion of them, nothing. One dude from the Bahamas, so he probably like 6'6", 6'7", chocolate, nothing feminine, like whatever your stereo, nothing. Mm-hmm. They on here kissing.
Oh my word.
They fighting over each other. They got like situations like, you was in my bed and I asked you why your dick was hard.
Oh my God.
They're
gonna show some sign. I'm sorry. There's no way that a 6'6" dude.
Some of them got kids.
That don't mean nothing. You know, that doesn't mean, you know, that you can have kids and be.
But I'm saying that to say you don't know. You don't
gotta
know.
show something. Especially if they fighting over each other now.
They
nothing's to say they're sus. Nothing sus.
Not necessarily. No.
See, I don't want my mind blown like that. No.
There's this one on there. They call him Hercules. I think he goes by Grandy or something. Here's what's even crazier. It's a few of them on there that I think possibly are not even actually gay, but they're on the show for popularity. This dude is one of them, but he be on there kissing Bobby Lights.
Now we got another Donald Glover here. I'm not gay. I'm just doing this because it's part of the show, right?
I'm telling you. Then I watched this dude. He had a live, Instagram live. Then it turns out he had very attractive young man, like 6'7". He looked like he could be like a WWE wrestler or something. Very muscular, everything. These aren't ugly dudes. Like, these are dudes to where if you saw them, you would be like, oh, what's up? Then I watch his live. And from what I was getting out of it, he has an OnlyFans. He caters to the gay men, and he plays the submissive role. Like, he has like all these pictures where he's laying on his stomach and his ass is like,
oh my word. But he's not gay.
I don't even think he's gay. But he's selling this.
Now I saw Lil Murder, your Lil Murder character guy who's on an interview. Let me tell you, people love him. He got a standing ovation on the show that I saw. It was on Tamron Hall. And he started crying, you know, and she was like, this is for you. She was like, this is for you. You are phenomenal. They went on, like, they couldn't even continue the show because people was just like clapping for him. And so he thanked the audience. He thanked the fans. He thanked his wife. He thanked his mom and dad. You know, I was like, right, Lil Murder.
He's that good. Like, I'm serious.
Ain't that good.
Like, people, that's a thing, you know. But for him, like, they were talking about like how the Jeffrey Dahmer story, the actor that's playing him, you know, Jeffrey Dahmer was gay or whatever. The actor that's playing him is playing that, and he's not gay, white dude, and it's fine. Nobody questions that, and they give him the credit for the art. They say, wow, so fucking believable, amazing.
There's a reason for that.
Amazing, but nobody is like questioning whether that actor is in fact gay in real life. But for the Black dude, many people won't give him credit for the art. All they're doing is questioning his sexuality in real life.
It doesn't seem like it. It seems like people are, from what I've seen, people are really admiring his acting skills. They're like, you are phenomenal. Like that's I haven't seen any, except for me, maybe. I haven't seen many people saying, no, that dude is like not acting. Most people are like, he's a great freaking actor.
Yeah, there's some of us, we're pushing that narrative, you know, Twitter and other social media, there's a different narrative going on. But there are people like me that are really pushing this thing, that his art and his performance are out of this world, because they are. And it's not a question that he's so good at it because he's really gay in real life, you know. But, you know, it's like, you just look at it like the dude that's playing Jeffrey Dahmer is not gay in real life, and nobody questions his sexuality.
Wow.
And he's so fucking convincing in that role that you're like, oh, you would think he was really gay or whatever.
People are saying he may never get another role though, because he played Jeffrey Dahmer. Maybe he's that good. Did you see the movie? Did you see it?
Yeah.
Is it a series or is it a movie?
It's a series.
I don't know if I can watch that.
You know, at first I thought I couldn't watch it. I started watching it and I thought that it was going to be like gory, but it's not gory. And then I gave it another try, and it's more about how the police and how the system failed. So it isn't really getting into the actual, you know, crimes itself, which I appreciated because I couldn't do that part. I didn't want to see dismemberment, and all of that. So yeah, you should definitely check it out. But yeah, it's pretty good, and he did a phenomenal job.
Well, there you have it, folks.
Yeah.
The side chicks just sparred over some shiznit. But anyways, so till next time.
Yeah. We're out. Thank you for listening. If you like what you heard, review, subscribe, and share. It helps other listeners find us. And don't forget to follow us at Yummy Fearless on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, and even Pinterest, where you'll find additional content from today's show and also our highly curated He Can Get It list. As always, you can listen to the Yummy and Fearless podcast with the sidekicks on Apple iTunes, YouTube, Stitcher, and Spotify. And if no one else has told you today, we love you and thank you so much for listening.
You've been listening to a podcast of the Podfix Network. Discover more audible gems like this at podfixnetwork.com. Make sure to catch up-to-the-minute network shenanigans by following @Podfix on Twitter, official_Podfix on Instagram, @Podfix Network on Facebook. And make sure to subscribe to Podfix Presents wherever you choose to find podcasts. The Podfix Network, artist owned and loved.